Welcome to Vintage Radio Cafe, your #1 channel for relaxing vintage audio restoration. If you like watching an idiot wielding a soldering iron, you've come to the right place. Watch Ray's attempts to fix wonderful forgotten radios from another era, way before transistors. Sometimes he even gets them working again. What could go wrong, right?
Hello guys, and welcome back to the final episode of the Grundig 4055 WF 3D restoration. And before I reveal it to you, I just want to remind you of its provenance. The radio was bought in Germany by a Canadian Armed Forces pilot in 58 or 59. I paid $175 for it. It took me 14 days to repair it. I worked on it 14 days over a span of 4 weeks, of 28 days. I've put in well over 150 hours. I stopped counting at 150 hours of work on the whole radio. I've invested over $350 in parts. There's $250 just in the vacuum tubes to get them here in Canada from the US with the shipping, taxes, and custom import fees. So plus all the components I had to get, then I had to buy some compound, wax, all that stuff. So over $350, but it's well worth it. So without further ado, let me just show you how beautiful it looks. Ready? So there you got it, guys. And if you're wondering how it sounds, well, I've already pre-recorded some footage of its performance. So let's listen how it sounds on the AM.
Gignac now loses the puck, regained. Subban going to safely play it to his defenseman. It's Bruce. Bruce sends it up to Daoud. Daoud chips it. And that one just misses Jacob Dovesh this time along the benches. What a good...
Not bad, eh? Now let's listen to how it sounds on FM1.
Non, je ne plairais pas à tout le monde. Je me rappelle quand je suis arrivé à Montréal, dans le sport, tu sais, écoute, on recule quand même de quelques années, mais les courriels commençaient, tout ça, puis bon, on peut pas faire l'unanimité à 100%, puis c'est là que j'ai été confronté à « Oh, tu veux plaire à tout le monde? » Mais non, je plais pas à tout le monde.
10 bons commentaires, ouais, s'il y en a un pas bon, c'est lui que tu gardes en tête quand tu travailles, puis t'essaies de changer ça.
Ouais. Parce que y a-tu qui t'ont fait mal, toi?
Ah oui, beaucoup.
C'est clair, c'est clair.
Je nommerai pas de... Mais tu sais...
How about that? And now, FM2.
$45 a month, e-box. It's just what you need. Shell rebates are back at IGA. Save 3 cents per liter on Shell fuel for every $70 purchase. Up to 42 cents off per liter. Ask for your Shell rebate at IGA. Certain conditions apply.
From November 13th to December 1st, Renaissance invites you to dress the walls of kindness and give a little warmth and comfort back to those in need. This year, the coats collected will be donated to La Maison du Père.
Pretty good, huh? Now, let's have a listen on how it plays on phono with some music I already used for my YouTube videos. And I can tell you, finally, the tweeters are working. They're working fine. That's why I chose this song, especially compared to how they sounded before. Listen to this.
Évidemment, la DPJ, la santé mentale, donc tout ce qui pète.
So I hope you'll agree with me. The radio looks good, sounds great. All the functions are working, from the tuning eye to the tone shaping wheels. And remember, at first I told you the plastic going through the notes, showing the level of the bass and the treble were misaligned. Actually, they weren't that bad. I just had to retighten the string or loosen it on the other side, but it's perfect now. It corresponds perfectly. And I just like to summarize everything I did on it. And I put this in my good decisions list. So for me, it was a good decision to recap and put new tubes in before the first power up. I always say I don't recommend it, but the owner told me it wasn't working at all. And I've repaired 2 of those before, so this was my 3rd Grundig, and I had a pretty good idea what I was doing. Second good decision I made, was to use compound instead of wet sanding. And I pondered on that for nights, and I dreamt about it, and I wasn't sure. And at the very end, I decided to try automotive compound, and it proved to be a good decision. Also, replacing the electrostatic tweeters. It's actually, it's going to go in my compromise list, because it is a good decision for, let's say, performance-wise, but it's creating a problem, and I had to move the ferrite antenna. So I might just swap those for smaller ones, not as thick, if I can find any. But it's a compromise. Not a bad decision, not a good decision. Other good decision, I think, very modestly, I took is to attempt to clean the grill cloth. You have no idea how long I've been hesitating, holding back on doing it, because I always thought the backboard would bleed some of the wood's essence, and it would stain the grill cloth even more. Well, the way I did it, maybe I was lucky, but that wasn't the case, and that's one of the parts I'm really proud of, is the grill cloth. A good clean grill cloth will shave years off the looks, the appearance of a radio, in my opinion. Also, attempting to straighten the side grills. I wasn't too sure, and you saw the videos, I use coins, but I thought, I felt it. I thought it was a good way to unbend, to unflex the side grills, and again, it proved to be a good solution. Other good decision that I made, well, it was to get this radio in the first place. Like I've explained in my intro, I thought it would be too much of a compromise to get a radio that didn't go beyond 100 megahertz. Well, I don't regret it, okay? There is a station I would like to listen to, 100.7 more on this radio, but I have so many radios I can listen to it, to the station on. And also, there's another station lower in the 90s that have just about the same content, classical music and all that. So I don't regret it. Now, the mistakes that I made. It's a short list, but I just wanted to be very honest. First, I completely misevaluated what the trims were made of. I thought for some reason in my head that it was just plastic, and it had been, there was a golden plating on it, a gold plating, and it would be impossible to clean. But as Edward said in part 1 in his comment, not only is it brass, it's solid brass, it's not plastic, but it is gold plated, and on top of that there was some kind of a clear coat. And once that clear coat is gone, that's when the gold plating starts to get dirty, to get oxidized. And after 10 hours spent on trying to polish it, I realized that when I was rubbing with Brasso, I was struggling to get through that coating, that clear coat, because it was oxidized underneath it. So it wasn't completely gone, just porous, and the oxidation was lower than that, you know, on the metal per se. So that's a mistake. It's a lack of experience, if you will. I'll know for the next time, or I'll check it before I give my opinion about it. Other mistake, well, I touched about it in the compromise section. The tweeters. I really didn't want to mess with the electrostatic speaker in place, because I did 4 of them. I attempted 4 of them. They never work. The way those are made, you know, some companies are different, maybe some other models, but all those flat square ones, there's nothing left. After 70 years, there's no metal left on the polyester or polymer sheet, and it's so thin to begin with. After 70 years, there's nothing left. I could see through them. I've demonstrated that on the was it on the blow pong? Yeah, it was on the blow pong. So I didn't want to do it, but I should have made more research about which kind of tweeters to insert, to put in. I just looked at pictures from a site, from a website which had restored them. It's luxury radio, and they're really good. But that's what they put in, and I took it as the word of God. I mean, if they did it, it must be good, and they sound good, but they're too thick. They're so thick you can't move your ferrite antenna after that. So that's a mistake. I should have made more research. So that's it, guys. I hope the footage that I did is you know, that it represents exactly how it looks. It's hard. I'm working with an iPhone, but I changed my lights because the footage I had before working on it was too yellow. So I hope the colors are better now. And in my acknowledgement section, I really want to say thank you again to my mentor, David Tipton, for 3 years of mentoring me and answering all my questions. And I got to know him. I know his family. I know, you know, from the exchange we have, emailing each other. And I owe him everything that I know. Second most important in my career is Manuel Caldera. I mean, for 3 years as well, I've been listening, watching his video, and I didn't understand everything at first, but I got better at it, and the guy is just brilliant. And the boards I've been using for both, in this case, both for recapping the electrolytic can and for the rectifier, you know, it comes from his brain. I mean, he designed those, and it turns out that it fit perfectly in the rectifier can. He says it's just pure luck, but I don't know about that. Maybe he thought about it. But anyways, thank you guys, David and Manuel. I won't forget it. Thank you very much. And lastly, I want to thank each and every one of you for, you know, being with me for the whole series. It was, I mean, all radios are hard to restore. You know, 70-year-old radios and even more, they're always hard. This one was not harder than the other ones, but it was longer to do. And, you know, there was a separate box to recap, and it was bigger, and there's 2 FMs and all that. And you've been there every day. I've seen your comments. I appreciate it. Really, really, thank you very much. All your kind words, it's so encouraging. You know, I started this, I was 60 years old. I wish I was 16. I was 60 years old. I'm 63 now. It's been 3 years. But it's not the same thing to learn at 60 than to learn at, you know, when you're 15 or 20. So I do what I can. I do my best. I still got a lot to learn, but I'm really, really proud of this one. And thank you. Thank you again for being there. Okay, what's next? What's my next project? Well, to be honest, to finish this one, I should start working on the recorder. I should start working on the Grundig recorder that came with it, and then follow up with the RCA turntable. But I know nothing about reel-to-reel recorders or recorders in general, tape decks and all that. I never fixed any of them. I've opened this one up, and man, it looks complicated. There was a lot of rat poo, so I can only see one belt, and I'm sure there's more. There's got to be 2 or 3 belts, and they're not there. They've been eaten away. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But if not, I have another Grundig in my viewfinder, and I'm working, towards getting it. I don't know if it's gonna pan out, but if it's not the tape recorder, it's gonna be another radio. Most likely another German. I love those Germans. And that's about it. That's about it. You've seen everything. I don't want to repeat myself. Everything that I did, I'm really happy. It looks good. It smells nice. I mean, it's so clean now. And again, thank you. Thank you very much for being there. And let's listen to the game. Canadians are playing the Golden Knights. Let's see if we're winning.
Et c'est 3-0. Ce but-là a
Who?
complètement refroidi. Ces 3 buts-là, en fait, Danny, ont refroidi le Centre Bell tout d'un coup.
Ah non, c'est sûr, Martin. Écoute, mais
3-0 for the Golden Knights.
Des buts 2 et 3 parce que c'est des gestions de
When I started this, the first period was over. It was 0-0. Just while I was talking, 3 goals against us. So I think I'm going to turn this to FM2 and listen to some music. Until next time, so long.